Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome back to Resurwreck Autos HQ. So guys, it is Monday morning. Don't know if you can hear, but it is raining. Cats and dogs absolutely peeing it down out there, and it's supposed to be like it for most of the day. But yeah, luckily we are working inside the workshop, so where it's nice and dry. So yes, it is Monday morning, and today we're going to be doing and trying to fix. I think we can. I think between us we've worked out what it is. So basically, backstory: last week, one of my subscribers, long-term supporter, Johnny, he's got a Nissan Juke. He went away last week. Expecting everything to be nice and cozy and sort of, you know, relaxed and chilled. And then until one morning he went out and he put the foot on the clutch and the pedal went to the floor and did not come back up. It just went bang and stayed there. So yeah, he spoke to me, he phoned me basically, he said, oh, is it all right to chat? So I said, yeah. So he called me and, you know, I spoke to him about it. And I said, well, you know, check the reservoir bottle to see if it's empty or full. He checked it and it was empty. So definitely got a leak somewhere. So he's looked underneath and it looks like it's coming from between the engine and the gearbox. So the only thing that's in between that, inside the gearbox, is the thrust bearing slave cylinder, you know, which go when you put your foot on the clutch, it moves in and out to push the clutch open and close or whatever. So that's the only thing in there that could be really causing the fluid in the reservoir, and it's DOT4 brake fluid. It's all connected, the brakes and the and the clutch. So it's dripping from in between, right at the bottom of the engine. So the only thing that's in there is that slave cylinder. So it's the only thing it can be. So I just went out there and I spoke to Johnny. Dropped it off on Saturday morning and said, look, just, you know, work on it during the week or whatever and let me know how it goes. So, and I was expecting to jump on one of the other cars that we've got going on, like the bumper. That needs to be repaired and sorted out and finished and sort. But I've just gone back out there this morning to move the car because we parked it right outside the lockup. The doors, it's out there. And the clutch pedal went straight to the floor again. So I can't move the car unless I push it. So I thought, you know what? Let's just get it in and then just make a start on it. My cars, they matter, but they don't really matter as much as customers' cars, because I can push all my cars aside and concentrate on customers' cars that need help. Johnny needs some help with his Nissan Juke, so we are going to be starting that today. Whether or not we'll do it today, I don't think we will. I think it's going to take 2 days, today and tomorrow, because the gearbox has got to be completely separated from the engine, and it is a bit of a job. I've got to be honest. I've looked into this, and it is a bit of a pig to do. So I think let's bring it in. I'll show you the car first, and then we'll get straight into it, getting this gearbox separated from the engine. So let's do this. Right, guys, that was an absolute nightmare pushing this inside the workshop because it was just sitting outside there. So I had to push it back, turn it around, and then reverse it in, and then pull it back and forwards a few times in here, and then give it a good old push, and it sort of went back on the ramp. But yeah, I've got it on anyway. It's here, so, and we're in the dry now because it's absolutely hammering it out there. So I'm just going to show you. So this is Johnny's Nissan Juke, and this is, you know, he's having a problem with the clutch, but we don't necessarily think. I don't think it's the clutch. I do think it's the slave cylinder in the gearbox. Let's take it up, and then I'll show you. Taking her up. Will she go to the last one? I think she will. Yep. That's it. So it's the highest it'll go. So yeah, let me show you where it's dripping from, and you can already see there, because I filled it up, the reservoir, and it's coming. Can you see that? I know if I do that, it's coming out of here. So nowhere else beside it is it leaking and dripping, but the drip is right there. And yeah, after a bit it kind of builds up and then it will just drip. So yeah, and because we parked it there obviously Saturday, it's been dripping over the weekend, and that's why there is no clutch pedal anymore. So the only thing that's inside there is the clutch, the flywheel, which won't be .4 brake fluid in that reservoir. It won't be that. There you go, watch. There you go. And it's just dripping and dripping and dripping until there's no pedal. And that's exactly what's happened again. So yeah, I suspect it's going to be the slave cylinder inside, which activates the clutch. There's on those. I haven't got one here. I'm going to order it and get it ordered, delivered today, so we can have a good look at it. But there's two bits of pipe that's connected to it, and then in the middle is like a C clip, and that's all it is. So I think that's give way a little bit, and it's seeping out of there. So I know a lot of you are going to get on the comments and go, well, whilst you've got the gearbox off, you might as well do the clutch. The clutch is a dual mass flywheel as well, and it's a lot of money, these clutches with the dual mass flywheel. So Johnny is not going to wants to go ahead and do the clutch. It's just too much money for him. He just needs it repaired. So that is exactly what we're going to do. Don't jump on the comments, guys, and rip him for it. It's his car. It's up to him. It's his decision. He knows he knows. I've explained all about it, because whilst you're in there and the gearbox is off or out, you might as well do the clutch. He knows. I've explained this all to him, but he still just wants me to do the repair, which is I think it's going to be the slave cylinder. So, or sequential slave cylinder thing, whatever people call it. Some people call it thrust bearing, because it's a bearing that goes backwards and forwards. But that's all we're going to do. So yeah, let's get set up. Obviously, we're going to have to take the drive shafts out, so we're going to have to drop the gearbox oil as well. But we'll do new gearbox oil on this one. Take the drive shafts out, pull the wheels off, pull the drive shafts out, and then start stripping it down. I'll probably take out this wheel liner here, just to give us a bit more room and access to the actual gearbox down there. So yeah, it's going to be quite a bit of stripping down on this one. So let's get cracking. I'll set you up. Let's just see how far we get today. Let's do this. Right, guys, just want to quickly cut in now. Yeah, it is taking some time. This is now trying to get in there and, you know, get all the box, the gearbox. You can see that's where it is there. So that's the actual inlet for the pipe here. This one here. And there's a bleed nipple on top. You can see the bleed nipple there. So wherever that, inside the gearbox, where that pipe is going to, is, I believe, the part that's failed and broken. So, yeah. Most of the bolts on the gearbox are undone. I've got 2 big bolts here that's holding it together, like there, that one there. And there's another one there, so 2 go at the top. I always leave the 2 at the top, because then the 2 at the top will create the box to keep together at the top as well as the bottom, because any pivoting that's at the bottom, it'll close it up. We've still got to disconnect the actual gearbox mount, engine mount, gearbox engine mount on this side. That's all got to be removed. We've still got support underneath as well. I've removed the starter motor and all the rest of the bolts that's underneath. So I'll quickly show you, and then it looks like we'll have to get some trolley jacks underneath the engine and the gearbox to support both of them. So I'll put 2 underneath there, and then we can start removing this gearbox. But it's taking so long. It's taken me most of the day already just to get this point. It's not, yeah, it's not an easy one, this one. But you can see, like, it's leaking in even more now. That's where it is there. It's a fluid, and it's just dripping straight out. It's just obviously getting worse. You know, we have got quite a bit. There's a little bit of mixture there. There's not just, because this wasn't clean in there, so it's a little bit mixed. But yeah, not good. But I've removed most of the bolts going up there as well. Starter motor's just up there. That's been removed and taken apart. The linkages have all been removed. I've dropped the gearbox oil as well. So, but we're going to replace that gearbox oil for new gearbox oil. Yeah, it just keeps dripping. Just keeps on dripping. So, yeah. We are getting close now. I've got to be honest. We are getting close. But I might have to remove some of this gearbox engine mount. So I might have to remove that bolt there and that bolt there. And that'll give me enough room to be able to bring the engine down a little bit and onto here if we need to. So I'm going to try and put the gearbox on top of this subframe. Yeah, subframe. Yep, that's subframe. I'm going to try and put the gearbox on top of the subframe. Let's rest it on that so we can have a look. But I need to support this side, even though I have to remove that to give me a little bit of movement. So, yeah. It's just been a nightmare, this car. Honestly, I absolutely feel for Johnny, the owner, because he went away up north, Norfolk, and he was stuck. You know, he couldn't, that clutch was just, the pedal was just to the floor, like it was this morning with me outside, and I had to push it in here to be able to get it into the workshop, because there was no clutch pedal. So luckily enough, the AA come out to Johnny whilst he was away, got the system bled, filled it up, and he managed to drive home. Otherwise, that would have cost, you know, a fair few quid to get that car recovered, because he didn't have recovery. He didn't have AA recovery on his policy, and he would have had to pay an extra so much amount of money per mile. So yeah, unfortunately, it's one of them things. It's just bloody annoying, isn't it? If you feel like you're going to go away, everything's going to be fine, and then the car breaks down whilst you're away. It's never happened to me, you know, luckily, touch wood, it's never happened to me whilst I've been away that a vehicle breaks down that I'm in. But I can only imagine what it felt like for them. It just ruined the whole break, the whole holiday, the whole getaway. It just ruined it, because you're constantly thinking about the bloody car. So hopefully we can get this done for him. I can find out what's going on, take it all apart. We'll get in there and find out what the broken... I know, I've got 100% I know what the broken part is. There's a little connection that goes together. I'll show you it once we pull it out. But let's just carry on, and then hopefully we can get this out today, and then it'll be tomorrow. It'll be back, new one back in, and all back together, and then bleed the actual clutch back up as well, and get it all back for him. He has got some issues actually with the lights. These side lights seem to be causing a bit of an issue for him as well. They're not working both sides, and the rear one's not one of the rear ones is not working as well. So he's got some electrical issues going on as well. It could be something to do with the wiring at the back of the light. So we're gonna have a little check at that once we've done the clutch. Once we've done this slave cylinder, slave inside the gearbox. So yeah, we'll jump on that and see if we can sort that out for him as well at a later, like maybe tomorrow afternoon or something. We'll just see how long this is going to take, because yeah, it is taking a while now. Anyway, let's crack on. I'll set you up, guys. Hopefully now we can separate the gearbox from the engine and we can go from there. So let's do this. Right, guys, that was unbelievably hard, I tell you. In the end, I had to try and pull the drive shaft out this way a little bit, because it was catching on the gearbox. It wasn't allowing me to sort of get it out. So I was trying to pull the gearbox away from the engine. And obviously this drive shaft, this side, was kind of still in place. So, yeah, it was fighting against me, but I managed to separate it, and I'm going to show you now inside, if I can get underneath there, and I'll show you what I found. Let me try and do this. Absolutely dripping still. So let me show you where that is coming from. So there's a pipe to the right hand side. I thought it was coming from that pipe, but it's not. It's actually coming from the middle of the actual let me just try and get you a bit closer. It's coming from that there, and you can see that, like, see where it's dripping on the bottom of it. So that part has actually failed, not that part over there. I thought that join there, can you see that little join on the right? I thought that was the part that's come apart or whatever, but it's not. It's the actual, it's the actual bearing part, the actual spring and bearing. that's come loose somewhere. So yeah, and there you go. See the drip down, drip, it's dripping down. So yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? But it is what it is. It's got to be taken out, and we've got to replace it. So it's obviously, I think the rubber, there's a rubber bit there. I think that's come down a little bit as well. It's popped out. It's basically just failed, isn't it? It's just failed, and it's now leaking. So we've got to get it out. So yeah, there we go. But what an absolute nightmare that was, trying to split this. There's the dual mass flywheel up there, and the clutch is there. Yeah. Oh, I got there in the end. Oh my God. It's just an absolute nightmare. There's no space. There's just everything sort of tied up. You've got to take one thing to get another thing out. It's just an unbelievable pig of a job. But, yeah, I'm absolutely shattered taking that out. That has absolutely done me. But yeah, it's even like, I think, what's the time now? It's nearly 4:30. So I've been at this all day. But we've got it done. It's separated, and we can see it now. You can see inside the gearbox where the actual thrust bearing has failed. I thought it was that pipe, but yeah, it's proved me wrong. But obviously I didn't know until it got in there, but I just knew there was something in there that's fouled. So tomorrow, I'm going to come back in tomorrow morning, nice and fresh after a nice rest and some sleep tonight. Going to come back in, we're going to remove it, I'm going to show you it, we're going to replace it for a new one, and then we're going to start the rebuild, putting back together. The actual real rebuild and put it back together should be a little bit more quicker than the removal. It normally always is. It really does depend if that gearbox lines up correctly and everything goes into position. Sometimes you have to fight with the gearbox to put it into position. But yeah, well, think about that tomorrow. Let's just go home, chill out, have some dinner, and have some nice rest, some sleep tonight, because I'm shattered. So yes, guys, that is it. That's going to be the end of today's video. We got there in the end. I did not want to leave it tonight without removing or separating that gearbox to engine. I just did not want to leave it. So I'm glad that is now ready to come in the morning and get cracking and remove it and fit the new one. So that new one has not even turned up yet as well. I'm still waiting for that new one to turn up as well. So hopefully, yeah, it should be tomorrow morning, first thing. So yes, there we go. Right. Okay. Don't forget, guys, drop me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Johnny's Nissan Juke. Give the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate all the support. And I'll see you tomorrow in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you soon.